pod bay doors.
Greetings and welcome to another exciting episode of The Cinematic Traveler. I am your intrepid movie exploring host Chris, and on this episode, we travel back to the paranormal cinematic universe that is The Conjuring with The Conjuring Last Rites. And this one is directed by Michael Chavez and brings back Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as everyone's favorite paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Now, will this truly be the end of our heroes? Or will they come back to try to make more money if this film is successful? Well, you'll have to listen to this episode to find out if it's even worth your time. Now, before we get into everything, I do have to do all that podcaster, YouTuber nonsense. You know what I'm going to do. Whatever you're listening or watching this on, please subscribe, follow, like, give me comments. Follow me on my social media. The best one is Instagram at Cinematic Traveler Pod, or you can get in touch with me through my email address, thecinematictravelerpod@gmail.com, or again through the comments. Please let me know you're out there. Share the show with your friends, family, loved ones, evil spirits lurking through your house. I don't care at this point, just as long as I can get anyone. Someone please listen. There, I got through all of that quick, fast, and in a hurry so we could dive into this episode. I hope you're doing well out there, my beloved listener. Once again, we are doing audio only on this episode. I should return to video soon. Again, I'm trying to test the quality of the sound where I'm at right now. Hopefully it works because I got this really cool corner of this new place that I'm at that I've kind of decorated for the podcast. I'd love for y'all to see it, so we'll see what happens. This website has been fighting with me all night, so it's winning. I hate to say it. It's winning. At any rate, I hope you're doing well out there as we are quickly approaching fall and the Halloween season, everybody's favorite time. Geez, it would be really nice to be dating someone around Halloween. It hardly ever happens for me. So if one of you lovely young ladies out there would like to hook up with a world-famous podcaster, I know a guy. Speaking of that, let's have our new segment for the podcast. It's entitled, Hey, Kelly Clarkson, how about dinner sometime? Now, it's a very complicated segment. It goes something like this. Hey, Kelly Clarkson, how about some dinner sometime? Yeah, why not? I don't know. I'm really off the rails. It's been a long day, and this movie didn't help me. And I know that's what you're here to talk about, so let's get on with it already. Let's talk about The Conjuring Last Rites.
Yeah, it's going to be fun on the bun.
And as I mentioned, this is directed by Michael Chavez, who I wish I would have looked up before because I would have stayed away from this movie because, his previous ones, he did The Nun 2. Do you remember that sequel? No, of course not, because it was terrible. He actually did the last Conjuring movie, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Do you remember that movie? No, because it was terrible. And what else? The Curse of La Llorona. Do you remember that one? Yeah, it was terrible too. I sense a trend here, but he might surprise us with this film. Now, before I get into everything, I have to over-explain some things, as I always do. I am going to give you a spoiler-free review, as well as a spoiler-free plot synopsis. Now, hidden in that plot synopsis is a movie quote from another movie that either shares some DNA with this film, or maybe runs parallel to it. If you can identify that movie, get in touch with me through the various means I have given you, and I will give you a point for each one that you get right. At the end of the month, I add up all the points. Whoever wins gets to pick a movie for me to review next month. Oh my God, how exciting is that? Even demons in the netherworld are excited to play this contest, so join in, and you can be in charge of an episode of this show. Now, I know it may seem a little uncool, but that's the best time of the week, and that is to be uncool with Chris. So without further ado, which I never know how much ado is further ado. At what point do you reach that? That's probably a really old joke. I don't know. Let's talk about Conjuring Last Rites. All right, let's see if any of this sounds familiar, ladies and gentlemen. Professional con artist. paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren, once again played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, are now enjoying the retired life as they anticipate the marriage of their daughter, Judy, played by Mia Tomlinson. And no, that wasn't the movie quote. You'll know it when I tell you. Meanwhile, in the scary, scary land of Pennsylvania, the Smurl family are dealing with a pesky poltergeist that has invaded their home. Now, the Smurls are very religious people, and they have returned to the Catholic Church for help. But since these ghosts are not 10-year-old altar boys, the church, they're not even interested. Oh, what an awful joke. What a horrible man I am. Well, ultimately, they do get in touch with the Warrens, as we know from the 3 other movies that we have seen in this series. But this time, the Warrens are a bit reluctant in returning to the field of paranormal activity. So they ask the Smurls, "Are you troubled by strange noises in the middle of the night? Do you experience feelings of dread in your basement or attic?" If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call the professionals. Hint, hint. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. I think y'all will get that one. Anyway, when the Warrens arrive at the Smurls' house, they quickly realize that this is no ordinary haunting, as there is a connection to the Warrens' very first paranormal case that not only threatens their lives, but the lives of their daughter, Judy. Do you get that reference? I'll give you an extra point if you get that reference. All right, well, these dastardly demons destroy our first family of fright, or will the Warrens do some serious ghost busting in the Smurls' house? And more importantly, will this movie ever end? Will this franchise ever end? Please, God, please. Let the power of Christ compel you to end these movies. But I won't spoil any of those questions. But I will give you the best review for The Conjuring Last Rites in all the podcaster YouTube universe, nay, in all of the universe. Now, I will let you know that I was not especially excited to see this movie. While I do like the 2 actors in the lead of this film, this is a franchise that has really just slid downhill ever since the first one was such a nice, quaint, little scary movie. Came out of nowhere, surprised you with an excellent launching point for a franchise. If you think about it, you have these quote-unquote world-famous paranormal investigators, or con artists, as I like to say, that have done many, many cases through the years, so you could have had all these really cool little movies throughout the years. And it just seems like every single one has just been sliding further and further into the doldrums. I will also tell you, if you haven't caught on, that I don't really believe in the paranormal at all. I don't believe in Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. There probably are aliens, but they sure as hell are not coming to this planet. They lock the door when they drive by Earth. So, yeah, I've never really been worried about how realistic these movies are, because none of this shit is real. I mean, case in point, the second one set in England, where they all had to turn their backs on the possessed girl, or she couldn't talk with the voice of the demon. I was like, oh, okay, that didn't tip anybody off. But at any rate, so yeah, I kind of go into these movies knowing that this is just going to be a bunch of bullshit, and they're going to add a bunch of things that probably never ever happened. So I don't know the real story of the Smurls and their haunting adventure, and I'm not even going to go look it up. I'll just accept the movie for face value. With all of that being said, let's talk about the good of The Conjuring Last Rites.
Sounds pleasant.
And this won't take long. I mentioned I do like the actors playing the Warrens, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. And once again, they do a fine performance here. I don't want to say they're going through the motions, but they know how to play these roles. And they do it just fine. They're the loving, doting couple. You know, they're just the best. They're so connected to the other world. Anyway, yeah, they do a fine job in the movie and continue with that. Let's see. The other really main character in this movie, who I was a bit surprised about plays a very important part in the film, was Judy, played by Mia Tomlinson, and she's fine. She kind of reminded me of Zoe Deschanel. Is that how you say her name? Zoe Deschanel. I can't remember. I was like, man, is that her? But she's just a little bit different looking than her. She's got a nice butt. I will say that. Oh God, he's a horrible man. Not really. I talked about Austin Butler's 6-pack abs last week, so I'm going to talk about this actress's butt this week. It was a long, boring movie. I needed something to keep me interested. But I guess those performances are fine. We'll get into some other stuff with the rest of the cast. And outside of that, that's pretty much it, I think. It's set in the 80s, so the soundtrack was pretty good. The one young lady had a poster of Queen in her room, so I was like, all right, how about that? I don't think, though, in America in the middle of the 80s you would have a poster of Queen, but hey, we'll enjoy it. Ed has a nice old Triumph motorcycle. That was pretty cool. Other than that, that does it for the positives of this stinking movie. So let's go ahead and talk about the negatives of The Conjuring No Frights.
Uh-oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Oh, where do I even start with this movie? I mentioned in my joking title, No Frights, this movie's not scary. You have seen all of this played out in all the other movies. It's all the same stuff. You've got someone in the basement and they see the demon. Is it there? Is it not there? And then they turn on the light and it's something else. Oh my gosh. And then, you see in the preview, there's a point where there's a creepy doll, because there's always a creepy doll in these movies. And then there's a quick jump scare from some old ghost lady. I don't know. There was one ghost I thought, all right, that could be pretty interesting, but they don't do anything with it. I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, there's nothing scary in this movie. And I know I'm coming at this from someone who's seen 10 billion horror movies, so it's really impossible for a horror movie to scare me. But even watching it as someone who's seen horror movies, I go, okay, that's not scary even. I mean, if this is your first horror movie, it would scare you. So yeah, that's not a good thing for your horror movie to have, and that is no scares. It's way too long. This thing is over 2 hours long, and it feels every minute. Actually, I thought about 3 hours long. I almost fell asleep at a couple of points. This thing just drags on forever and ever, and there is so much attention played to the Warrens and their daughter and her getting engaged that really there's a big chunk of this movie where it's not a horror movie. It's just this little family drama. And you're just sitting there thinking, this is a scary movie, right? I got to do my bad Jeff Goldblum impersonation. You are going to have scares in this horror movie? That's really bad, I know. But that's how I felt. I was like, okay, what movie am I watching? So yeah, you don't get, and that leads into the next real negative of the movie, because you're devoting so much time to the Warrens, you don't get any real connection with the family. And I think back to the first movie, I think that one did a really good balance of showing you that family and their inner workings and everything they're dealing with. I want to say before the Warrens even arrive, it feels like you pay a lot of attention to that family. So you're more connected. This one, you do not have any connection with the family. It's like they're there. I couldn't tell you one family member's name right off the top of my head, and I just watched this movie, so I have no idea what the dynamic is in this family other than chaos. And this is all sort of started by this present that this young lady gets for her, what is it, you Catholic Church people, consecration, is that right? That probably isn't the right word, but at any rate, some big ceremony that she does, and her grandparents get her this creepy ass fucking mirror. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Grandma, Grandpa, what are you doing? Put this in your room. No, it's going to terrorize me for the rest of my life. I'll be in therapy for years. Well, naturally, that's what all of these demons are connected to. So, yeah, I have no idea why this was the present. None of this just makes any sense, because you don't spend any time with the family. And the time that you do, oh my God, the director, Michael Chavez, not only does he make a dragon-ass horror movie, why have a horror movie that's 2 hours and 15 minutes? I'll never know. Y'all make fun of me for saying it, but I like 90 minutes for my horror movies. Don't go over 2 hours. You can get right at the 2 hour mark, but if you go over, you better have a goddamn scary ass horror movie for me to recommend it. I mean, there's a few that have done that and have done it well, but most of them, I'm saying 90 minutes to 2 hours is tops for your horror movies. But he also does this thing, oh my God, he was testing my motion sickness with these handheld cameras with the family, where I guess he was trying to go for maybe like a home movie style showing you this family, but it's like all close-ups and the camera's moving around and fast cuts and on shaky cam. And I was getting real nauseous. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it to this movie. I'm going to throw up in front of everybody. But fortunately, I am a man and I held it all in. Plus, there was only like 3 people in the movie theater, so it wouldn't matter. But yeah, be prepared. There's moments of this movie. If you do get motion sickness from like moving cameras, you're going to get it in this film. And as I mentioned, with no scares and it's too long and you don't connect with the family, even the stuff with the Warrens is just so lame. They're just the greatest family ever and everything's wonderful and they love each other so much. And I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all. But yeah, it's just so boring. And that's the worst thing you can say about a horror movie. And that's what this is. It's boring as hell. Like I said, there are a couple moments where I almost fell asleep. There's a big section, and I would say pretty early on in the movie where you're just not getting any scares. That's why when it goes back to the family, you're just confused. You're like, what the hell happened? There's actually moments in the movie where things are explained in big exposition dumps. And I'm sitting there watching the movie. And I went, this is a horror movie. It would have been really cool to see that happen on the screen. So I would have had some kind of scares, some way to connect to this family and be worried for them. Instead, you just have 2 characters tell me what happened. And it's just a crappy movie. I will say it's probably the worst in the series. Maybe, I don't know. I can't remember the third one for the love of me. So yeah, there's just nothing here. So I guess we'll get to my final verdict for the movie. Yeah, don't watch it. It's not very good. Even when it comes out on a streaming service, just pass. This movie is bad. It's not scary, as I mentioned. It just goes on to, I don't want to reiterate everything I just said. It's just a bad movie. And I pray to God this is the last one because, oh my God. It has to be. They made it seem like this was the last one at the end. So, hallelujah. No more Conjuring movies. I'm sure they'll reboot the whole franchise in a few years. I don't know. It's so stupid. But yeah, definitely skip this. Not worth your money, and it's not worth your time when it comes out on a streaming service. Go do something else. Go buy some Halloween decorations and make your house look all spooky and scary. You ladies out there, go buy some sexy Halloween costumes and let me know about it. I do have a question for y'all. I know I said earlier that I don't believe in any paranormal ghosts or any of that stuff like that, but do you? And if so, have you ever had any kind of encounters with them or scary stories from your past where you were like, oh, I think I saw a ghost or something happened that was spooky and we can't explain it? Let me know. You can get in touch with me on Instagram at Cinematic Traveler Pod. My email address, thecinematictravelerpod@gmail.com, or leave it in the comments and I'll read them off if we get any good ones. So yeah, like I said, I don't believe any of that nonsense. If I don't see it, I don't believe it. I'm a jaded, cynical old bastard. I don't believe in love either. Although I'd really like to fall in love. That would be nice. So anyway, on that note, that pretty much wraps up this episode. I'll be back next week with another review for some god-awful movie. Can't wait. I'm so excited. If that doesn't sell you on the show, I don't know what. We'll play the contest. That way you can pick a movie for me to review, and hopefully it'll be good. I still have to watch the previous winner's movie. I got to get on that real fast. There's something else I need to tell you. If you're living near a Regal Cinema for September, they're doing this really cool thing, and I got it in an email. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I wish they'd do it all the time, but they're going to do a different, quote-unquote, classic movie every night that you can go see at your Regal Cinema. Like tonight, I think they were doing The Godfather. Tomorrow I'm going because they're doing Citizen Kane, and I know I hear you, oh, these are old movies, but they also got some that are, I guess, newer classics. They're going to be doing Seven, John Carpenter's The Thing. I want to say Saving Private Ryan is in there for all of you Tom Hanks fans that I know are listening. So go on their website and see. Like I said, they have one for each and every day, just a different classic movie. Frank, I'm not going to say old movie because some of them I actually saw in the movie theater, and that would make me feel old. But yeah, I was like, yeah, that's really cool. So I'm going to go check out a few of those over the course of the month. But yeah, anyway, play the contest, and you can pick a classic movie for me to review. Let's see if there's anything else I need to say. I don't think so. I do want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to my show. I tell everyone I know I've got the smartest and sexiest audience in all the podcast or YouTube universe, and you never fail to live up to those high standards. And I bet your butt is cuter than Judy's in this movie. Now, as you are traveling around on this blue and green ball, what the hell is going on? I have lost complete control here at the end. Do I ever have control of these episodes? It's really Mr. Toad's wild ride. All right, let's end this damn thing. While you're out there traveling around on this blue and green ball, bouncing through the cosmos, I need you to do one thing for me. Go out there and do that voodoo that you do so well.
All right, show's over. I'm tired.